The Jets look to get back on track after a rough loss to the Broncos as they prepare to head across the pond to take on Sam Darnold and the undefeated Vikings. Rodgers and Saleh appear to be on different pages following that home loss to Denver. The head coach was asked about his quarterback yesterday. Listen up.
You and Aaron talk over the cadence thing, and what is your relationship with Aaron now?
There is no cadence issue. There never was a cadence issue. It was created.
What is your relationship with Aaron now? How would you describe it?
Aaron and I are fantastic. Love the guy.
I love the face at the end. Super Bowl champ Jason McCourty in the house. Great sport.
What up, Jay?
Nice to have you with us.
What's up, Stephen A?
What's up, bro? Like the place.
Dan, I said you're
crew cut.
great
That's
at
a
breaking
cold
down film. You want another one?
Tough day. It's a tough day.
I don't know if I'd call that a crew cut. That's a Dan special.
What's wrong with my hair?
No, I'm just saying. I don't know if it's.
Is that your
we
move?
can't
Let's
put
just
your
say
hair
it's
in a
not.
box.
Let's just say it's nothing to brag about, and let's move on to discussing football because we don't want. We don't
Okay.
want it to go
Guys,
down. You understand what I'm saying?
Let's all be nice to each other. We're a team.
You know what I'm
Right?
saying? We are
A
team.
lot of low
Got nothing
blows
but love for my
happening
man. But
today.
Elvis, come on now. Elvis left the building a long time ago, bro. Let's move on.
Oh my
Supercuts.
goodness. Dan, supercuts.
What?
I can't tell you
What?
what my sister used to call that salon.
Gotta respect, all establishments.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just saying. Dan,
Slowing it down. I'm ready. Let's roll. Let's roll. Let's roll. Let's go.
see, now I want to slow it down. I hate when you do that. It annoys me. I'm not your daughter, okay? Like, let's walk a little faster in the city, okay? I'm a grown, you-know-what woman. So
walk a little
stop telling
faster,
me to
grown
roll,
woman.
especially from your little green room. You want to do it here in person. All right, Dan, are Rodgers and Saleh?
I loved it. Fire today. Are Rodgers and Saleh an issue?
Yeah. Is this like something or nothing? Is there a problem
Absolutely
here?
it's something.
Okay,
Absolutely.
break it down.
Okay, number one, if you have to publicly go out of your way to tell people how much you like somebody else, you're covering up for not liking that person. He's going out of his way to being like, me and Aaron Rodgers, love him. Fantastic. Right? So that's number one. Number two, this has been the Egypt situation when Aaron went away and it was reported publicly like, hey, this is a finable offense. Instead of adjusting it or not making it an issue at all, that was a kind of a crack in the relationship. Two, the media did not make the cadence an issue.
Yep.
Robert Saleh made the cadence an issue. Aaron Rodgers is one of the, if not the greatest all time in that specific thing. To say what he said post-game when it's like, you know, maybe we got to look at it and peel back, maybe we're trying to do too much, you make it an issue. And then the last part is this. It becomes a greater talking point if you don't win. If you win, this won't be a problem. If you win and you play good and you're winning the games that you should, specifically, you know, when lesser opponents like the Denver Broncos, it's not a problem. If you continue to lose to teams that you shouldn't lose to, and there's problems publicly with the press conferences, then it becomes a major talking point. If they win, it'll be okay. But of course there's a problem between those two because they continue to go out of their way to tell us that there isn't a point between each other or a problem between each other.
Well, you're wrong. The problem is not between those two. The problem is Robert Saleh. Who cares? I mean, ain't nobody worried about Aaron Rodgers. We know what he brings to the problems with Robert Saleh. You know what I'm saying? It's a one-person problem. He got a problem that he better fix. It's just that simple. We talked about the cadence issues just to clarify for everybody else out there who don't understand, because obviously, Dan, you know as much as you know. You didn't tell him this, okay? When you're talking about cadence issues, you're basically talking about drawing plays. You know, you're drawing defenses off sides. Did you know that Aaron Rodgers, first of all, is the best in the business at it? 18 career touchdown passes, drawing folks off sides in his career. 18 career touchdown passes in doing that, right? Now, you bring up the fact that if they win, it's no problem. If they lose, it's going to be a big problem. Well, it's going to be a big problem because they're going to lose to the Minnesota Vikings. Based on the defense that we've been seeing from the Minnesota Vikings, I know we've been making a lot of noise about Sam Darnold and obviously Justin Jefferson and Addison being back and whatever. Hawks is not even back yet. We're looking at the Minnesota Vikings. We're like, damn, they're doing some things. Let's see what if it continues. Fair enough. But defensively, led by Brian Flores, the Minnesota Vikings, #1 in the NFL in sacks with 17, quarterback hits with 38, pressures with 75. This is what they do. In the end, what it comes down to is this. You're supposed to have a defense elite enough to offset some of the things the offense may not be able to do. I think last week, Saleh could have made that case because you held Denver to 10 points or so, right? That's on Aaron Rodgers. But overall, when we look at them, We know that's not going to be every week for an Aaron Rodgers offense. We expect more. We believe we'll get more. The question mark is whether or not we'll get more from Saleh and his defense. And if that's a huge question mark, it had been one he better eradicate quick, fast, and in a hurry. Otherwise, he's going to begin to feel even more heat than than he's feeling right now.
Stephen A., I hear you. The fact that it's not a Aaron Rodgers and Robert Saleh situation, it's just the head coach situation. But no, it takes two people in this thing. And we've all experienced it. Dan, I know you have. You're in the car with your wife, you're driving to an event of some form, and you guys get in a big argument. She's running late, whatever the case it may be. And as soon as you show up to the event, you act as if nothing happened and everything's great, and you're complimenting her, you're rubbing your hand on her lower back, going to get her a drink. Then you get in the car after and she just bites your head off because of everything that transpired before. This is between two people. It's Saleh and it's Rodgers. There is an issue. Him telling us is fantastic. And then I look at the way the Jets played in that game on Sunday. Just completely sloppy. When you're looking at penalties, when you're talking about a sack on the first play of the game, fumbling on your first possession, those things fall on the head coach when it comes to holding guys accountable and preparing guys to play in a football game. If you start a game like that, it shows that guys weren't ready to play. Remember they play a game on Thursday night. They beat the hell out of the New England Patriots, their in-division rival. And what did Rodgers say after that game? Guys, we got to learn how to handle success. They didn't learn how to handle success when you look at them in the way they played that game on Sunday. That doesn't fall on the players. That starts at the very top, and that starts with Saleh. And you can see the disconnect. When they spoke about cadence, Rodgers said it. Hey, maybe we can just hold guys accountable. Those are the things that are talked about in a staff meeting when you're talking from the coach's standpoint of what they need to address with the players, not from your quarterback. He echoes the message that is coming down from the coaching staff. It is a problem between those two, not a one-person problem, because he's not going anywhere. They have to figure this thing out for this season if they want to get to where they want to get.
Jason, respectfully, you don't know that Saleh's not going anywhere. You do not know that. You do not know that.
What do you mean?
Excuse me. That could be going. He could be going in a matter of weeks. You never know. You never know. He could be going in a matter of weeks. Listen, Doggy was on the show yesterday. Doggy was on the show, and I will remind y'all, I mean, of course, I refute a lot of things that Doggy says because he's crazy and you never know when he's chewing on his gummies. But the point is that when he speaks about these things, the man is a Hall of Famer that's covered New York, that spent 30 years covering New York sports. So he has an idea about the climate that exists in the city, in Gotham City. And so when you talk about Saleh and the way that the Jets have looked, you just highlighted an abundance of things that are error-filled, Jason, that has everything to do with Robert Saleh. So when I say that it's a one-person problem and you saying it's two people, what I'm saying to you is that I'm not trying to be literal in a sense. I'm just making the point that it's a problem that Saleh has to solve. It has to solve, because if you are not handling your business, Aaron Rodgers don't want to hear about you telling the media it was a cadence issue. Aaron Rodgers don't want to hear about problems that was on the offensive side of the ball when he's looking at you and he doesn't believe you're doing what you're supposed to do in other areas as an overseer of the franchise or the roster because you're the head coach. He doesn't want to deal with that. He wants to know that you can handle your business, that you can make sure you are capable of offsetting whatever errors might inevitably come in his way, because nobody's perfect. And in the end, if you're looking for more from Saleh than you're getting, than you were hoping to get, that is problematic. He has underachieved. If you look at him as the head coach of the New York Jets, are y'all going to sit there and say he did a good job?
Stephen A., you are out of your mind if you think that we fast forward in this season and this offense underwhelms, and we are not going to solely pin that on Aaron Rodgers.
That's not what I'm saying.
We aren't going to blame Robert Saleh if the offense isn't good enough.
That's why it's two people.
That's why it's both of them, and the disconnect is real. If this football team fails...
My apologies. You're misconstruing what I'm saying. Of course, I said yesterday, the offensive responsibility is that of Aaron Rodgers. What I just said minutes ago, however, is that I have every confidence he'll overcome that. But in the end, if he's looking at a guy in Saleh who's supposed to be handling everything else, and you don't feel he's doing that, but he's going in a press conference talking about cadence issues with you, that's a problem.
Okay. Yeah, Stephen A., I feel like you've been on the defense, for 25 minutes. You get some tea with milk and honey. Take a moment.
Woosah.
And,
that's the show. I'm good with that.
It's a rough morning for you, I know.